For this, the next topic that we have is the changes in the hormones of the body structure. But before that, let us study something about the glands. What actually the glands means? Now, glands are two types in our body. What are the glands? There are small portions in our body structure which will be producing some liquid, that is a chemical in our body, which will be released at different aspects or for different target. Now, what are these substances? Let us find out. There are two types of the glands in our body. You must have heard about the glands, that is the pancreas, thyroid, liver. All these are the glands only, but there are two types of the glands in our body, that is the exocrine and the endocrine. Now, exocrine itself says that I am possessing something in myself. So, it possesses the ducts. Now, as we have studied in the earlier chapter, the ducts means it is something like the pipe-like structure. Okay, so this pipe-like structure is present in these type of the glands. So, whenever they are producing something, they will be releasing it through the pipe, that is a duct. Okay, so this is, they will be secreting the enzymes. Now, this is also one difference, more important difference, that they will be producing only the enzymes. Okay, so exocrine will be producing the enzymes. And what are these exocrine glands? They are useful in the digestion. For example, we have the liver. Liver is present nearby the stomach portion. Now, it does not possess, it does not have the any other things. So, it will be possessing a duct, which is a small pipe-like structure present over there, that you know very well. Okay, so this liver being the largest gland of the body structure, it will be producing some of the enzymes which is useful in the digestion process. So, this is one of the exocrine gland we have seen, and there are lot of other examples also, you know that. Okay, the next one we have is the endocrine gland. So, what is the difference between exocrine and endocrine here? Endocrine will be having the ductless glands, means it does not possess the pipe. Now, the question comes in your mind that if these of the glands does not possess any of the pipeline, then how can the things which they produce will be reaching to the particular target? Okay. So, this is the answer, that they will be producing the hormones. Now, see, they will be producing hormones and the exocrine will be producing the enzymes. This is also one of the important difference between both of them to be taken into consideration. Now, after this we have the examples, that is a thyroid gland, adrenal gland and other pancreas, and so many of the glands we have. These of the glands does not possess any of the duct. Now, how they will be acting? They will be producing the hormones and will be meeting or having the mixing of these hormones into the blood directly. So, we know that the blood is going to revolve in the whole of the body structure, isn't it? Every body portions will be having the blood supply from the heart. So, what will happen? The hormones which are produced will be reaching to the target site by the blood ways. Understand? This is how these endocrine glands will be working. Okay, so that's why we say that there are some of the hormonal change in the body structure, means it will be the whole of the lookout will be changed because of the hormones as they are meeting in the blood itself. Now, here we have some of the hormones being given in our textbook, that the changes which occur in the adolescence are controlled by the hormones, as we have said just now also. The hormones are the chemical substances, means it is something like liquid or semi-liquid substance which will be produced by these glands. These are secretions from the endocrine glands. Now, here is the endocrine glands, means they will be ductless, okay, and producing the hormones, or the endocrine system. Now, endocrine system means what? They will be having the whole of the system being carried out by themselves. Okay, next one we have the male hormones, that is the testosterone. They will be beginning to release the testes or the onset of the puberty. Because of the puberty means what? The changes which are going on during this adolescence age. At that time the testosterone will be produced, and because of that the testes will be activated and thus the sperms will be also produced. Then we have, this causes the change in the boys about which you have just learned. Okay. Now, for example, the growth of the facial hair will be start developing, means mustaches and the beard will be start developing in the face also. On puberty, once the puberty is reached by the girls also, the ovaries begin to produce in the female hormones, that is known as the estrogen. Now, what is this estrogen? Estrogen means there will be the production of the ovaries, means enlargement of the ovaries will be there. Because of that reason, the eggs will start developing, start maturing and will be coming to the development. Okay, now this is what we can say, and the other development in the girl side will be the development of the breast portions also will be will be seen properly. Milk secretion of the glands, that is the mammary glands, also start developing. Now the production of these hormones is under the control of the another hormone secreted from the endocrine gland, that is called the pituitary gland. Now let me specify something about the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is one of the gland which is considered to be in both the portions, that is in the exocrine gland also, in the endocrine gland also. So it is one of the gland which is present in having the both the systems. Okay. Now next one we have is the role of the hormones in initiating the reproductive functions. Now what are these things? Let's have a look at this. As we have seen that the endocrine glands releases the hormone into the bloodstream directly, and thus it will be reaching to the target site, means wherever we need these hormones, over there only these hormones will be reaching by the way of the bloodstream. Now the target site responds to the hormone. So whenever there is some requirement, so this is what the hormones will be acting like, and how they will be reaching, we know that they will be mixed with the directly to the blood, as we know that they do not possess the duct, means it is ductless, that is they do not possess the pipe through which they can reach to the target site. So but the functions of the target or the organs, they will be reaching and they will be functioning over there only. So this is what the thing we can have in the endocrine systems. Then we are having something different from here, that the reproductive phases of the life of the human. Now what will be seen over here? So we know that when the female is entering to the adolescence age, there are some changes which we have seen, that the enlargement of the ovaries and the production of the egg will be becoming matured over there. Okay, so these are the some of the changes. While these changes are going on in the girl's body, at the age of 10 to 12 years, it will start producing the eggs, and as the eggs will be reaching to the uterus portion, if the sperm has not met the egg, what will be the result? It will be resulting into the breaking up of these layers in the uterus itself. These breaking will be known as the menstruation or menstrual cycle in the girl's body. Okay, now what will be these conditions over here? The menarche, the first word that term given over here is the menarche. This menarche is showing that it is the starting of the development of the egg in the girl's body structure. This egg will be produced at the age of 10 to 12 years. Some girls will be matured earlier, so they will be having the 10 years, or some will be having it the 14 years. So it is not a worry that whatever the age group they will be possessing, it will be according to that. So menarche is the starting age where the first time the egg will be broken down in the body structure, that is in the uterus. Okay, so the second stage, that is the menstruation. Now this is what the menstruation cycle is. When the breaking up of this egg or the ova is there, it will be having the menstruation cycle being started over there. It continues after every 28 or 30 days in the girl's body structure, means after the egg has been broken down at the 30 days of the cycle, the new egg will be started producing at every other ovaries. For example, this month it has started from the left side of the ovary, left ovary, then it will be reaching up to the uterus up to 3 to 4 days. After that, what will happen? If the sperm has not met, the egg will start breaking after 28th day. So that will be making the blood like structure that is coming out from the uterus, and this is the lining of the uterus and the ova which is going to break. This will be known as a menstruation cycle. So after the completion of 3 to 4 days, or it will take some 6 days also sometimes. So this will be the cycle which will be completely exhausted from the body structure in the uterus. Okay. After this one, the new cycle will start, means the new egg will start developing into the right ovary now. So in the next month it will start coming from the right ovary. After again 4 days, it will be reaching to the uterus portion. But again the sperm has not met, so what will happen? The egg or the ova again will be breaking down, and it will be again released in the form of the blood. So this will be the again cycle going on every 28 or 30 days portion. Now the age group from 10 to 45 years. This will be continuously going on every month. Sometimes it happens that the cycle is irregular in some of the girls, but it does not matter anything because it will be coming to a particular cycle also after 3 months, after 1 month, after 2 months, it's okay. So that will be all depending on our grandmother, parents also, and from the mothers also. Okay. Now after the age of 45 to 50, at that time duration, it happens that the egg does not develop or it does not mature completely. So what happens? At that time, the uterus will be having no portions where the egg or the ova will be coming to break down. Okay. So that time it will be known as the menopause. Now as we know that these all things are resulted because of the production of the hormones in our body. So at the end also, when the menopause is there, what will happen? There will be definitely some change in the hormones in the structure of the girls. Okay. So this at this age also we need to take care about the mother or the elder sister or whatever the persons are present over there in the homes, because at that time there are so many of the hormonal changes in their body structure which we cannot feel, but we need to help them out for this cycle to overcome. So this is what we can have for the menopause, menarche and the menstruation cycle. Now during this, the Paheli is having some of the question in her mind. She is asking that reproductive cycle of the woman lasts from menarche to the menopause. Is she right? Yes, of course, she is right, because it starts at the age of the 10 to 12 years, means it is the menarche, and when it ends it is up to 45 to 50 years, that is known as the menopause. Okay, so this is what we have studied about the menarche, menopause and the menstruation. Looking at the next stages that are coming for the changes in the body structure are, that is reaching the mental, intellectual and emotional maturity. Now as we have seen, first of all in the physical changes, that is in the body structure which is going on, that is the height will increase, the body structure will be increasing, but here now comes with the mental body also, mental structure of the body structure, that is mental, intellectual and the emotional. What will happen in this time duration? There will be the change or the growth in the maturity or the mental also. The way of thinking will be changed for these people. Now what will happen during this age? The thinking will be completely changing. You people will not like to play with the girls, the boys will not be matching with the girls now, and girls will also not be matching with the boys playing. But when you were a child, you were all mixing and playing with the all of the genders. There was no changes over there. But now onwards, you will feel that I should not play with the girls being a boy, or the girls will feel that I should not go with the boys when we are playing. Okay, so there will be some changes in the mental health also. Now this will be having the next change, that is the tend to spend considerable time for thinking. Okay. So as you have become now a little bit matured than the childhood nature, so you will feel to think something more. You will feel that I should think on the creativity, I should think on the changes that I can make for myself, even for my surrounding also. So this will be the maturity that will be coming in your thinking power also. The next will come is the brain have the greater capacity of the learning now. So as you become more of an in this adolescence age, you will feel that your brain will be having more of the capacity to learn whatever you people are given to or presented to. Okay, so it means that when you are at the age of the 14 to 19 or starting from 11 to 19 years, at that time you are in the board exams, facing the board exams, isn't it? So that's why at that time duration you can have the maximum of the memory power that you can consider, and you can have the books also from your knowledge, for the knowledge. The next one is the feel insecure while trying to adjust to the changes in the body and in the environment also. So what will be the next step? That you will feel insecure while going with someone. जैसे कभी किसी की शादी में जाते हैं तो क्या होता है, you will not like to go with your mother or your father. You will feel that oh I should stay at the home. अभी मैं थोड़ा सा बड़ा हो गया हूँ, कुछ अजीब सा लग रहा हूँ, तो थोड़ी सी इनसिक्योरिटी आ जाती है पर्सन्स में, बच्चों में, कि नहीं मुझे अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, I don't feel good. Isn't it? So this is what the changes that is going to happen in your mind, that I am looking odd now, तो अभी नहीं जाना है, थोड़ा सा और बड़ा हो जाऊँ, डेवलप हो जाऊँ ठीक से, फिर आ जाऊँगा बाहर, कहीं शादी में जाएंगे, कहीं घूमने जाएंगे, isn't it? Or if you will love to go outside, but that also with only friends only, you will not feel to go with your parents also, not with your even sisters and brothers also, you will feel that I should go alone or with the friends group circle. Okay. So these are some of the changes that is going on with the person when they are facing the adolescence or the puberty time of the changes. Okay. Now next we have is the secondary sexual characters. Now what are these changes that will be seen in your body structure? The first one is that they will be producing the gametes. Now what are these gametes? Gametes means what? The testes will be producing the sperms and the ovaries will be started producing the eggs. Okay. That is the gametes being produced in the girls and the boys both. Now the girls will be having the breast development started at this age also, that is the adolescence age. For the next one, the boys will be having the facial hair. So the hairs will be coming in the facial, that is in the mustache or the beard will be growing and started with the growing of these two things. Okay. So suddenly you will be looking something different from what you were looking before 1 or 2 years, isn't it? So you will feel that in coming in 8th standard or 9th standard you have become now mature enough. So you will be feeling something different from the other kids. So this is what the resulting into the adolescence or the puberty you can have. The next one is the growth of the hair in your private portions. Okay. So underarms also and the pubic regions also, there will be development of the hair also. So this is what the result of the development in the changes will be having. Paheli is asking a question that how can we find out the gender of a child? So let's study about that. Now we know that here a question that arises is how is the sex of the body determined? So what are the aspects by which we can determine that? See, it is natural process that we cannot find out that which of the sex of the child will be when it is developed. Okay, but how it is being produced, that we can come to know. So here we have that 23 pairs of the chromosomes are present in the male also and the female also. Now after that what will happen? There are 22 pairs which is the normal chromosomes, but one pair of the chromosomes is termed to be the sex chromosomes. Now this will be clarifying that it is going to a boy or a girl. Now here we have that boys will be possessing the pair of the chromosome which possess the X and Y both. These are the sections by which we can identify that the child is going to be a boy or the girl, that we will be coming to the later portion. The girls will be having one pair of the sex chromosome which will be possessing YY in them. So these are the chromosomes responsible for the sex of the child. Now as you can see on the screen, we have a chart being shown to you people. Here it is being shown that X and Y chromosomes are coming over there and we have the sperms which is coming, that is the X and Y, and the eggs are present over there. These eggs or the ovum are known as X and X. As you can see, there are pair of the eggs present there. So what will happen if there will be the matching of these two things, that is Y and X, they are going to meet, it is going to produce a boy. That the picture is also visible to you people. But if the X and X chromosomes will be meeting together, means X sperm and the X egg will be meeting together, they will be producing and forming a girl gender. Okay, so this is how we can identify that the girl or the boy gender will be going to produce, but that is not in our control. That is again a gift of the God that we can have, and even we know that to find out the sex of the child during the pregnancy is also going to be a banned portion, is not going to be legal one. Okay. Now the next portion that comes over here, we have that the hormones other than the sex hormones. So what are the other hormones that we have studied here? That is the 22 pairs. Let's talk about these pairs. There are so many of the hormonal portions that is present in our body structure. As the second picture, yes, this picture is telling to you people that what are these hormones in our different parts of the body. The first one that you can see over here is on the head portion. Now that is the pituitary gland, and the other name to the pituitary gland is the master gland. Yes, we know that we call the master because it possesses all the things in them and it can control everyone. So yes, the pituitary gland is the one who is controlling all the other glands in our body, and we know that when the glands are controlled, all the hormones are controlled, and the hormones are controlled means our whole of the body is being controlled by it. So pituitary is the master gland. The next gland that is visible to you people is in the neck portion, that is known as the thyroid gland. Now we know that there are so many of the people around you, those who are having the thyroid in them, they are saying that usually they used to say that I have thyroid problems and I can not have the good in the neck portion. So this is the problem that they are going to face when the hormones which are released by this thyroid gland is not properly working. They will be facing this type of the problem. The next one we are having that you can see over here. below that, on the top of the kidneys you can see there is green colored structure which is known as the adrenal gland. As they are present on the kidney, the other name of the kidney is adrenal. So when they are present on the kidney, it is known as the adrenal gland. Okay, so this will be again responsible for the fight, or we can have that sudden things which are happening to our body structure that will be faced by them. Okay, in detail also we will be going to study them. Next we are having the leaf-like structure being seen over here, that is the pancreatic gland. Okay, that is the pancreas, which is going to result and give so many of the results out of that we know that pancreas are the one which is going to have the exocrine gland also and the endocrine gland also. The next one which is going to differentiate the boy and the girl, it will be the ovaries and the testes. Okay, now in the girls we have the ovary portion which is visible to you people over here, that will be developed in the girls, that will be showing the ovaries will be producing the hormones, and then it will be the estrogen. Okay, and in the boys, the males will be not having the ovaries, they will be having only the testes in them. So they will be producing the testosterone as the hormone which is going to result and produce the sperms in them. Okay, so this is what about the pituitary gland, and all the glands we have studied, that is the 22 pairs of the glands in our body structure. So now let's study about them in little bit detail of these portions. Now here we have seen that Bujo and Paheli have wandered and went to their uncle's house. So what happened over there? The auntie is telling that the Kaka was suffering from the goiter. Now what is this goiter? Goiter is the disease that is being caused in the neck portion. It will just enlarge the body portion of the neck and will be bulged into something like this and thickened portion. So that is known as the goiter. Because of the less of the iodine in our body, it will be produced in our body structure. The neck portion means in the thyroid gland only. Understand? Now, a disease of the thyroid gland. Now, Kaka's thyroid gland was not producing the hormone thyroxine. Here it is clearly mentioned that in this thyroid gland, there was a production of the thyroxine, but which was absent in Kaka's neck. That's why he was possessing the goiter disease. Okay. The next one we have seen here is the aunt was also telling them about the suffering of the diabetes, that the Kaka is possessing the disease known as diabetes. Now what is this diabetes? Now as we know that every second or the third person in our surrounding is possessing the diabetes. So you people are aware about the diabetes also. Okay, so it says that because of this pancreas. Now where are the pancreas? You can see over here. The pancreas was not producing the hormone known as insulin. Now we know that pancreas are producing two types of the hormones, that is the insulin also and the adrenal. So here we have the insulin which is going to produce in the pancreas. But what will happen if it is not produced in the sufficient amount? Then what will be the problems being caused by them? So Bujo and Paheli then asked their aunt about the adrenal glands also, that which is also shown in the chart hung on the walls of the clinic. But over here also you have the chart being shown to you people. The aunt told them that the adrenal glands secretes the hormones which maintains the secretion, the correct balance of the salt in our body. Sometimes it happens that we eat lot of salt by mistake, and sometimes we happen that less of the salt is entering in our body. But this is being balanced inside our body by the adrenal gland. So when the adrenal is being produced by the adrenal gland, it will be completely balanced in our body. So they are just correcting the salt balance in our body structure. Adrenals also produce the hormones that is known as the adrenaline. So this is two functions that they are doing over here in our body structure. It helps the body to adjust to stress when one is very angry or embarrassed or worried. So whenever our parents are worried, which type of the which of the hormones will be produced in their body? Yes, you are correct. Adrenal gland will be producing the adrenal in their body structure when they are worried, when they are tensed, or when we are having some of the angerness in our body structure. Okay. So we were talking about the insulin. You must have heard that a person who is diabetic person will be having the production of the more of the sugar in their body, and sometimes we know that there is a less production of the sugar in our body structure. It depends completely on the insulin which is being produced by the body structure. Now if the insulin is less in our body, we will be having the more of the sugar being produced in our body structure, and thus will be resulting into the diabetes. So let's study something about that also in detail in afterwards also. So thyroid and the adrenal secretes their hormones hormones when they receive the orders from the pituitary gland. Yes, this pituitary gland is the master gland. So until and unless the pituitary gland does not give response to them, they will not be producing any of the hormones from their glands. So pituitary glands will be producing and giving them order to produce the hormones from them. Pituitary also secretes the growth hormone, which is necessary for the normal growth of a person. Now we know that some of the examples are in front of us also. Yes, the big B, that is the Amitabh Bachchan. What happened to him? Yes, he was having some problem in the pituitary gland, because we know that the pituitary gland is responsible for the growth hormone. Now, if a person, there are two types of the glands, two types of the situations or the results that is coming out after this pituitary gland. What will happen to this? If it is producing more of the hormones, then what will happen? The height will be too long as the big B is possessing. But if it is less of the production as compared to the normal body, then what will happen? The dwarfness will be resulted. Yes, you have seen the clowns and the jokers in the all of these circuses, isn't it? So when do we get laugh? Because of this dwarfness only. But this dwarfness is because of the pituitary gland, which has produced less of the hormones in the body structure of the clowns. Okay. Now after that we are having that Bujo is asking something. Are these their hormones in other animals also? So yes. Have they any role to play in the reproduction also? Yes, of course. All the living beings possess the different types of the hormones in their body structure. So this will be resulting. As we have seen the hormones in the human body, likewise let us study about the hormones in the animals too and the insects also. So here we come with the next topic, that is role of the hormones in completing the life history of insects and the frogs. We know that in earlier standard or the classes we have studied that the frogs will have different stages when they are developing. But when they are developing, the size when they are born is completely different, and the body structure when they develop completely is also totally different from the born one. So that stage is known as metamorphosis. Now when this metamorphosis is going on in their development of the frog body, what happens? There will be the development of the hormone in their body structure. Now this hormone is being secreted by the glands inside their body. This gland is the thyroxine, which is responsible for the development and the metamorphosis occurring in their body structure. So here we come with the next topic, that is metamorphosis. As we know, we have studied in chapter number 9 also. Then the insect hormones that we are knowing now, it is the thyroxine, which is produced by the thyroid gland. Now we know that in human body also, if the thyroxine is less amount produced, then what will happen? Or if it is produced in the large amount, then also something is defective in our body, isn't it? Yes, we have studied about the goiter also, where Bujo and Paheli went to their uncle's house, and it was the goiter which was developed in their neck portion, which was bulging out because of the iodine, which was less in his body. That's why it was produced as a goiter. Now the same thing will happen to the tadpoles also. Yes, we know that the small frogs are known as the tadpole. Now when these tadpoles are growing up, and if the river or the water does not possess the iodine in it, the tadpoles will never develop properly, because thyroxine is only one which is responsible for their development up to the frog stage. Understand? So this is what the hormones and the iodine is very important for the frogs to develop to occur the metamorphosis. Let's go with the next topic, which says that the reproductive health. Now we know that reproductive health is very important for all the animals, human beings, birds and every kind, because it will be giving birth to the new one and the young one, which is going to regenerate our species. For that, what will happen? Nutritional needs of the adolescents, balanced diet is required to them. Now what do we need? See, first thing we have is the adolescents will be requiring lot of nutrition in their food. Why? We know that there are lot of changes which is going on in their body structure. As earlier we have studied that physical change, mental change, emotional change, intellectual changes, all these changes are responsible in these type of the ages only, that is from starting from 11 years to 19 years of the age. So this time duration is very important for the adolescent period and the puberty which is going on in this time duration. So for that purpose, they need to develop a lot in this time duration only. So it is required to have the balanced diet and more of the nutritional requirement in their body structure. Now, for your kind of information, you should be knowing that what is actually a balanced diet for you people, because you also come in this class also. So the balanced diet here we have mentioned it is having some of the points in it. Now what are they? It should contain enough of the proteins, it should contain enough of the carbohydrates, proper amount of the fats, not too much. Then we have the vitamins. All the vitamins are required for the adolescent to develop in a proper body structure, which will be resulting in the good reproductive production of the further species. So this is why we need to have the balanced diet. Now we know that we are Indians and especially we are the Gujarati. So what will we having in our meal every time? Yes, dal, milk, all these are the requirement for our body structure. Now if you know that dal is the complete meal that you can have. Yes, if you don't have anything and if you drink the dal, it is containing all these substances in it but in proper amount. So dal is a one which you can drink and have it every day also. The second thing that comes is the milk. If you go outside and you don't have anything to eat for yourself, but you can purchase the milk from outside and just inhale it, it will give you or fulfill your body with all these things again. So milk is again a proper diet that you can consist of. So these are the things which you can have in your diet during this adolescent period. So this is very nice that we can understand the balanced diet in our body structure. Iron, which is making us rich in hemoglobin. So this is very important again for our blood to have it in our body. So these are the iron which is available from the jaggery, from the amla, that is gooseberry, from all the vegetables, from the leafy vegetables especially, and these things are very much required in our body for the good development of the body structure. The next that comes is the pulses. Yes, pulses are very rich in protein, we know that. So for the sportsmanship, we should need to have the protein in our body every time, which will be provided by the pulses that we can inhale. The next thing that comes, yes, of course you people like to have the chips and all the other fast foods from the vendors or from the other outer shops. But do you think that it is good for our health? Not of course, but for the entertainment we just have the chips and the burgers and the pizzas and what not we eat from them, isn't it? Otherwise we know that these are not good for our health, but still we consume them very easily and very happily also. So these are the things which is not giving you even 1% of the protein vitamins, but still we love to inhale them because they are very much spicy. This spiciness does not give us anything, but it just harms our body and the stomach internally. So these are the things which should be avoided by ourselves, that is the teenagers especially, isn't it? The next thing that comes is the personal hygiene. Yes. The personal hygiene means what? Every person has to take care of themselves first and then the other person will be changed. So don't wait for the other person to change and then let us do the same thing. Not at all. So we should be taking care of ourselves, taking bath every day, because teenagers have so many of the changes in themselves. The sweat gland starts taking out the sweats from the body. The oil will be coming out from the body. So these are the things which is responsible to make our body very much dirty every day. So for that reason we need to keep ourselves very clean by taking bath every day. Especially for the girls, when they are going with their menstruation cycle, they should be cleaning their personal parts also, and they should be having the sanitary pads which is used every 4 to 5 hours to be changed again. So these are some of the personal hygiene which we should be taking care about, because when we are healthy, we should have the next generations also very much healthier from our side. The next thing that comes is the physical exercise. We now know that the people who are just sitting and working doesn't have the time for the exercising for themselves. But do you think that it is good? Not at all. So what should we do? When we are exercising, our muscles, our bones, our body structure will be getting more of the energy and the blood circulation is going to be more enough, which is going to provide us more energy from internal. So this is what we need to have the exercise every day, which will be providing us with the good blood also circulating in the whole of the body. The next thing that comes is the myths and the thoughts, the do's and the don'ts. So what will be happening over here? Mites, we know that there are so many of the wrong methods or wrong things that is going on and humoring in the world. Now some of them are given in our textbook also. Let me read from there. So these are the points that a girl becomes pregnant if she looks at the boys during menstruation. See, when we are kids, we don't know actually what the true things are or the facts are. So what happens? The girls don't go to the parents also and don't ask the things which are really true. So they will be having these of the myths in their mind, but these are just myth, not the true facts. So these should be understood by ourselves, and we should be having the good generation now, which is very much alert also. The second thing that it says is the mother is responsible for the sex of her child. As we have seen earlier in the chapter that the topic was given that what is the sex of the child when it is developing or when it is turning into the ovum or when it is turning to the enzyme. So what happened? We know that the sex of the boy and the girl is present in the sperm, not in the egg or the ova. So who is responsible now? You people know very well. So, and it is not like this that somebody is responsible. It is the God's gift that we can have it. So nobody can control that it should be the boy or the girl. So nobody is responsible at all for the same reason. The next myth that comes over here is a girl should not be allowed to work in the kitchen during menstruation. In olden days, people used to do such type of the things. You must have visited so many of the movies also, the Padman movie, isn't it? You have seen so many of the activities they are going on. The girls or the ladies are not allowed to enter the house also when they are in the menstruation cycle. So when they are passing through this menstruation cycle, they are not supposed to enter the home also. Is it true? No, it is the physical change that is going on in their body. It is not something which is not done by the God. It is just done by the God only. It is natural activity. Nobody is the devil who has done these things. Okay, so these are all myths only. Nowadays we are educated and we are not doing these things. So it's very good. The next thing that comes here is say no to the drugs. Now drugs here means the medicines and the other things which you are also understanding. So what do we say to the drugs? Now drugs in the science terms is termed with the medicines. All types of the medicines which are available in the market. We can have it here that there are so many of the period during which people will tell you that if you will take this type of the drug, you will be matured very nicely. Your muscles will be developing very properly. You should inhale this type of the drugs and this type of the drug should be taken in the gyms and all these things. But it is completely wrong, because what the body is going on with the changes, it is natural. Nothing is required from outside to inhale to make our body very much proper. It is for those people, those who are taking part in the competitions for the muscular body. So it is not for ourselves that we are living in general life. We should not require these of the drugs. So say no to drugs means it should be completely no. No means no. Understood? The next topic that we have is AIDS, which is caused by the dangerous virus, that is the HIV. This virus can pass on to the normal person from an infected person by sharing the syringes or by using the used injections to the other person. Now, it can also be transmitted from an infant to the infant from the mother giving the milk. Then the virus can also be transmitted through the sexual contact with the person infected with the HIV. So these are the few of the things that at this time duration we should be looking out carefully, because in this age sometimes it happens that people does not listen to their parents or grandparents, because we now know that I am going to become an adult, so why should I listen to anybody else? It is the mentality of the person. But if you yourself is knowing everything, there is no need or no requirement by others to guide you people. So these are the things that you should be keeping in your mind for your betterment and your future only. Now the last step that come over here is adolescent pregnancy. Now we know that the government has given us the age group by which the girl or the boy gets married. Yes, it is the 18 year for the girls and the 21 year for the boys to get the married. Okay, but nowadays we know that it is going for the long period. Now girls are also becoming mature and they also know very well that at 18 age we should not get married, because there are so many of the problems that they can be facing at that time duration. And even we are educated society, we are living in the educated society, and we ourselves are educated lot. So we know the problems that we can face at that time. So what are the problems that we can face during the adolescent if they are getting pregnant at that time? It is the mentally person does not become ready to have the child at that time. because up to the 19th year, can you have the child? Never. So these are few of the things that we should be taking care being an adolescent, not to worry about the other things and just be prepared for the good life. So good luck to all of you and thank you for listening.